Hello, I'm Judy Copenbarger. Working to live or living to work? How can I really get ahead? Have you ever felt like you got up in the morning and you went somewhere you didn't want to go and you did things you didn't want to do just to be working? What would it be like if you were actually working to live? We'll look at that right after this. So how can you really get ahead when you're just working to make a living or living to make a working? The first thing that you can do is save appropriately. Now, it's not about how much you earn, it's about how much you can save from what you earn and how much you get to keep of what you earn. So you want to save appropriately. When income comes in, you want to allocate it for now, for soon, and for later. So when you have income coming in for now, that's your monthly expenses. It's the bills that you have to pay, everyday living. The soon part, those are dollars that you want to allocate for goals that you have in the next year, the next couple of years, maybe down the road. And then the later money, income is saved for later. That's going to be your retirement planning and the big goals that you have years from now. So it's really not about savings for most people. It's about spending. Most people would love to save more if they just had enough left at the end of the month. By the way, if you're interested in investment planning, clarification, or any other information to do with your finances, please leave a comment, send a message, or if you really want the valuable details on truth about money, then go to judycopenbarger.com. Click on the green Discover the Truth button. It's there that we've put together this great in-depth course that'll give you insight and actionable steps to help you secure a future that'll put you in a positive direction financially for generations to come. So visit our site directly and then learn the truth. Just click the link over to judycopenbarger.com. I made this whole course with you in mind. Now back to managing your spending. One of the things that you can do to make sure that you're spending well and you're allocating your dollars well is leverage Sam. So we all have a Sam in our life, and you know who I mean, Uncle Sam, right? IRS. We want to make sure that the things that we're doing for our dollars for soon and later are being done, all this activity is being implemented with a tax-free or tax-mitigated plan in mind. So there are some things that you can do that are totally tax-free. Some things that you can do that are tax-deferred. That means we kick the ball down the road and pay it later. And there are some things that we do that don't have any tax goodies attached to them at all. We have to pay full tax. So if there's anything in your life that you can do for one of your financial goals that is tax-free, that's the investment you want to grab. It might be a 529 if it's for educational planning for your children or grandchildren. It might be a Roth IRA if you have a goal of retirement and you're trying to save dollars for later. There are some insurance products also that have tax-free growth inside. So always look to that short list of tax-free before you move to the second category, which is tax-deferred. So are there tax-deferred investments that you can be implementing? Maybe at work, you have a 403B that's offered, or a 457 if you're a public employee. Maybe you have a 401k if you work in a corporation. These are dollars that you could put away, and often they're even matched, where you put in some and your employer will put in some on your behalf, that will grow tax-deferred, so you really leverage SAM, and you're leveraging time for your future goals. There are annuities that are tax-deferred, which means it's earning money the whole time you're not paying tax. Now you have to pay the tax when the money comes out at the other end at distribution time. But in the meantime, it grows in a very tax-advantaged way. If you've exhausted all of the options for tax-free growth and tax-deferred growth, then you look to what's left, and we call that non-qualified. So these are investments that are not qualifying for any kind of a tax benefit. Things like mutual funds, stocks, bonds. If these are investments that are in an individual account that you have, maybe a joint account with your spouse, or any other kind of account that's not retirement related, they're not going to grow tax-free, and they're not necessarily going to grow tax-deferred. But those are going to be great options to give you traction to achieve your goals later in life. Now back to this question. Are we working to live or living to work? You know, some people live to work. They love what they do. They light up when they tell you about their profession and their business, the passion that they have in life. And it happens to be the way they've found that they can monetize their life and get money for doing what they love. Other people go to work because they have to. So what I would encourage you to do is think about wherever you are in life. If you've had your job a year or two, or if you've had your business 25 years, it doesn't matter. Think about the balance that you have in life. What are your goals? You know, who do you want in your life? What activities do you want in your life? How do you want to spend your time doing quality of life events, and who do you want to do that with? That's what really is showing up here when you think about this balance. And are you working to live or living to work? Who do you want to be with? What do you want to be doing every day? And if you're in a business, what kind of clients or customers do you want to serve? If you have a business full of ideal customers, and you have a business where you get to serve them, and when you see their names on your calendar, you get excited. When you get to serve them in certain ways and help them doing whatever it is they're doing, you get excited. Now you have an ideal business, which can mean it's an ideal life for you. So here's your challenge. Think about what you can do a little more, what you could do a little better, what you could do differently to be living, not just working. What if you were working to live that ideal life that you have in mind? You get to choose that. So are you going to choose to survive, or are you going to choose to really thrive? That's the question. So now that you know a little bit more about financial planning for you and your family, you can share this information with others. I encourage you to like and share this video, and click below to be informed of our newest money videos as soon as they're released. And comment to let us know what you've learned about your experience with planning and what you'd like to learn next. Thanks for joining us today. I am Judy Copenbarger. God bless.